Hillary Clinton is on a new book tour, and she's gone after President Trump. Watch this.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president. He knows that there were a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did, and I take responsibility for those parts of it that I should. And so I know that he knows that this wasn't on the level. I don't know that we'll ever know everything that happened. So of course he's obsessed with me. And I believe that it's a guilty conscience in so much as he has a conscience.
The book, Gutsy Women, Favorite Stories of Courage and Resilience. Hillary co-author is her own daughter, Chelsea Clinton. They're appearing tonight, Jesse, in Brooklyn. You want to go with me?
I already have my tickets
baby.
booked. It's going to be a page-turner, that one. I can't wait to tear into that.
Oh, my God.
Listen, she's a crooked person, and for her to finger Trump as being crooked is complete hypocrisy. Talk about foreign interference in an election. How about all those tens of millions of dollars that poured into the Clinton Foundation when she was Secretary of State or running for president? Was that influencing the election at all? Or the $9 million she paid a foreign agent to influence the last election called the Steele dossier? She's a total joke, and she's a total hypocrite. But she may see an opening, because Biden hasn't answered basic questions like, why, Biden, did your brother win $1 billion contract to build homes in Iraq from no experience? Or how'd your son leave China with $1 billion on Air Force Two? Hasn't answered those questions. Hillary might be seeing an opening here. What do you think?
Well, I do believe that she has repeatedly called out the president on things that she disagrees with him. But this is a new level of attack, going after her emails after all of the months and years of investigations. Remember, when the Republicans controlled the House, we had the Benghazi investigation. We had all kinds of investigations until Hillary Clinton. But I'm looking forward to reading this book because she's talking about gutsy women, including Republican women like Margaret Chase Smith. Greg, what about you? You want to?
Yes, I always love a book on female empowerment. I just find it a bad message that it took two women to write it.
Oh, gosh, Greg. You are terrible.
I'm kidding. Come on. You go, girls. You go, girls. I feel like Hillary has only one world to live in, and she has nowhere else to go. She's like a drunk loitering outside a bar waiting for it to open, and that bar is the presidency. And she may be right. She may be right that when she's looking at this terrain and she's seeing a bunch of, like, supporting characters but no main lead. My question is, okay, if she does enter, okay, she's got to be calculating the risk. What if she enters and she polls less than Joe and less than Liz? That's the risk of being humiliated. However, she doesn't want that first line in her obituary to be, I lost to Trump.
Twice.
Yes.
Well, she lost the electoral.
No, it's okay.
I thought that was our Joe Friday.
It was our Joe Friday. What?
She lost the electoral college. She won the popular vote, but I don't think we should be talking about Hillary.
To use the phrase hyperbole, Donna.
Oh, look at you, baby.
When she says
Can you spell it?
Yes. When she says that this election is illegitimate, that's hyperbole, and elections exist to prevent war. That's how we don't have civil wars, we don't have coups, we have elections. But when you start saying these elections don't matter, she's actually pushing it towards conflict, not anybody else.
Go ahead, Dan, I'm sorry.
That just in listening to her and having you here for your expertise on this and your experience, that the loser of the election, the one who concedes, is usually the one that they have the heartache, they have all of that loss that they have to go through. And so somebody like Al Gore, for example, after the recount, he did not do this type of thing to say that the Bush presidency was illegitimate. He moved on. He went and he moved to California. He had pursuits in documentaries and climate change. And I just wonder about the decision to constantly question the legitimacy of an election and how dangerous that is.
I remember that night when Al Gore called and said, shut it down, meaning shut down the campaign after the Supreme Court ruled. But we're now in a different era where all of the disruption that started years ago continues. Nobody wants to concede anymore. We want to continue the next fight. And this campaign now is going to be another exercise of what I call gutter politics.
Crazy.
But what do you think about Hillary writing a new book with her daughter, Gutsy Women?
Well, I think it's wonderful. Any project with your mom is wonderful, and especially for those that don't have that opportunity. So that's fantastic. I think that her book tour is...
Nepotism. Anyway, go ahead.
Her book tour is interesting in that, ever since the election, when her favorability rate plummeted, she has less than favorability rate of 1/3 with independents, none with Republicans, and it went down 11% with Democrats after the election in 2016, and it has not risen. So this book tour, especially since she continues residing in victimhood land, it won't do her any favors. And it reminded me of just being like in a sorority again, where she was like, clearly he's obsessed with me, but Donald Trump is her one obsession, whereas she is just one of his many topics.
Right.
And it's so clear.
Well, she says she lives rent-free in Donald Trump's head. Look, what I do know, and I haven't read the book yet,
Donald
but I
Trump
look forward.
never lets anybody go without paying rent.
Well, true that. But what I like about it is that she is going to lift up all of these unknown women, many of them who are not really known to the public, and tell their stories. So I
And
think
she's giving all this money to charity, right?
Oh, well, of course, she's going to make sure that the money is spread very well.